Hey skaters, Nate from eSkate Hub here, and today we are checking out the Possway Lynx. Now this is belt drive, all-terrain electric skateboard. It sits at the top of their lineup and is supposed to be their fastest and longest range electric skateboard yet. I was pretty impressed when I pulled it out of the box for the first time because I didn't really get a chance to look at it online and look at all the specs until after I'd opened it up. So I was surprised with a few of the things that came with the board. So for starters, it's got these urban terrain, or they call them all-terrain wheels on them. They're 105 millimeter, kind of like Cloud Wheels clones, but they're not Cloud Wheels. It also comes with some 90 millimeter street wheels, along with the belts and the pulleys for them. You got your standard stuff like your T-tool, a Y tool with all the hex keys on it, USB-C charger for the remote, a ton of extra hardware, the manual, the remote, this little tool which is for the nuts on the motor mounts, charger, but most interestingly it comes with a set of rear shred lights. Definitely gonna put these on before we head out for our ride. So the deck is a 37-inch 8-ply Canadian maple and 1-ply bamboo. It's got a light drop down with the flared edges where you place your feet. So it should be fairly stiff. When we take it out for a ride, I'll do a little bit of a bounce test to see what it's like there. It's running dual 2,700 watt belt drive motors, and it's expected to get about 32 miles per hour or 52 kilometers an hour top speed, which is bonkers. I'm gonna give that a crack. I don't know how confident I am gonna be riding that fast, but we'll give it a go. And it has a hill grade of 48%. It's just complete bonkers. I have no idea how they tested that. The steepest hill in the world in New Zealand is about 34%. So 48% is a little bit unnecessary, but we'll give it a go. We'll try on the hill that I've got real near me is like 12% to 15%, so we'll give that a try and see how it goes. So the battery in this enclosure is a 12S 2P 345.6 watt hour battery with Samsung 40T cells. So that's expected to get you about 26 miles of range or 42 kilometers, which it's pretty good. It's quite a lot of range. I guarantee you I will not hit that range with my weight and all the tests, but we'll see how it goes, won't we? We already spoke a little bit about the wheels. The trucks are 7 inches wide at a 45-degree angle. That's fairly standard as eSkate trucks go. Again, when we take it out for a ride, I'll tell you how these trucks feel. And interestingly enough, I saw a Reddit or a Facebook post that says that eSkate boards don't come with any risers underneath the trucks, but funnily enough, this board has some huge risers. So turn it on, it's the bottom button down here on the remotes. It does have an auto turn on when you spin the wheels. Not sure if you heard that beep, but you can see that in the top right it is now connected. It's all powered by the thumb wheel like pretty much every other board. You cycle through the modes with this top button up here. Keep in mind that when you're accelerating, you can change the modes while you're accelerating. When you're riding, be very careful not to accidentally hit that button while you're accelerating because it will speed up without you realizing it and it could give you quite a shock. It has cruise control by pressing that middle button and away you go. You can change the speed mode of the brakes by holding the brake mode down and cycling through these modes here. And reverse is a toggle on the side. I haven't seen that for a while, and to be honest, I much prefer a directional toggle over double clicking buttons or whatever. P button is fairly interesting. What happens is when the board comes to a complete stop and isn't traveling at all for about 4 seconds, this pause mode comes on, and it basically means you cannot accelerate at all. You have to pull the brakes on before you can accelerate. That's just a safety feature so that when you come to a complete stop, you're not going to accidentally hit that accelerator and send the board flying into traffic or into a curb or into a pedestrian or your ankles, whatever. So I do like that feature. It's pretty handy. So overall, the board weighs about 22 pounds, which is 10 kilos, and the max load is 330 pounds or 150 kilos. That should be enough load for most people. So I think now it's time I'll chuck these shred lights on and we'll take it out for a spin. All right, sweet, check this out. I've got my shred lights on. Now there's two ways you can mount them. Well, the mounts, there's only one way. They have to be flared out like this. I did think about putting them on the underside and flare them out this way, but then I was worried that they might hit the wheels. So with the lights, you can put them on the outside of the flares, or you can put them on the inside of the flares. I don't know what looks better, maybe on the inside, because then you can't see the clip under there. So maybe I'll leave them on the inside for now. But what do you reckon? Do you reckon they'd be on the inside looks better or on the outside looks better? And to set them up, it wasn't that hard. You can use the bottom end of the T-tool to place around that nut. And with the supplied Y-tool, you can use the middle size hex to twist on and off. It's a two-handed job, but if you do have a drill and a drill bit set, then I highly recommend you use that because it is 1,000 times faster. So that's setup done. It's fully charged. Last thing to do now is to take it out and give it a ride. All right, we are off on the Possway Lynx. We're heading out now. I'm in low mode, heading just uphill a little bit, and I'm doing about 9 kilometers an hour. So we'll just ramp up a little bit. But I'll tell you what, these trucks, they're really, really loose at the moment. So much so that I think that I'm not getting any wheel bite, which is a good thing. So I'm heading up a slight hill now. And I'm doing about 18 kilometers an hour in mode M, medium, I suppose. Let's ramp it up again to high. Oh, that's better. I tell you what, the deck, like it's stiff all the way in the middle except for a little bit of bounce at the drop down of where the board meets the trucks. Feeling quite confident, quite good on this board. All right, I'm riding straight into the wind here, so I hope it's not too loud, but we're gonna hit the hill climb test first just because of the way we've come on this trip. It was a bit squirrely up the top there. There was quite a lot of traffic. I had to take a main road to get to where I wanted to go. Usually I drive down to the testing spot, but I've decided to ride first just because it's a nice day and I wanted to get out. So I'll see you at the bottom of the hill. All right, here we are. We're at the bottom of the hill. That's it there. It's the same hill I always take. It doesn't look like it's that steep from here. Yeah, it's around 12%, 15% in some parts, I'm pretty sure. So I'm in high mode. I'm not in high mode plus, and I'm fanging it. Like I'm doing 32 kilometers an hour. I'll chuck the miles per hour down here. All right, so I'm getting up to the steeper part. I'm full throttling it now, and I'm doing 25 kilometers an hour. This is about the steepest part. 22 kilometers an hour. 20 kilometers an hour. So it's getting up pretty reasonably. I'm okay with that. I'm pretty happy with that considering my weight of 90 kilos or 190 pounds-ish. Yeah, now it's speeding back up again. I'm already at 27 kilometers an hour. So I'm pretty happy with the way that it climbed that hill. It had enough power to get me up there, no worries. They spec it at 48% hill grade, which it's hard for me to say definitively because I haven't tested it and I probably never will test it, but I highly doubt that it will make 48%. That is incredibly steep, like unheard of steep, doesn't exist on any street road exists. All right, so this is low mode, braking mode 1. Oh yeah, it's got that pause thing, I keep forgetting that. Go. Oh. Well, that's low, mate. I don't know what I was bracing for. This is brakes 1. Pretty soft, good for beginners, kids, that kind of thing. So let's head into medium now, braking mode 2. Also super soft. soft off the mark, but it picks up the speed pretty quickly. 18 kilometers an hour, here's the brakes. Not too bad, fairly soft. High mode, braking mode 3, this should be a lot faster. Again, very, very controllable. Picks up speed very, very fast. I'm doing 36 kilometers an hour here, 38, 39. I've got to back off. So I think I got up to about 39 kilometers an hour. Might have almost touched 40 before I backed off. I just didn't feel that confident getting that high. I was full throttle. I was throttling it to the end, but it was still picking up pace, even if it was very, very slowly. All right, here we are back around to the start. This is going to be speed mode H+, so high plus. This is the top mode, should have the highest acceleration and top speed, and braking mode 4. So we'll also test the brakes out when we get to the ends. Wish me luck. Whoa, all right. That was pretty fast, not gonna lie. Let's test that again now that I kind of know what I should expect. Wow. H mode plus for the win on that acceleration. I backed off a little bit there. Yeah, I'm hitting 36. I'm not even full throttle. 39. Not even full throttle. I don't even know if I was half throttle. Maybe. I hit 40, I saw 40 on the remote. That's really fast, really hard acceleration. I'm very, very, very impressed by that. There's a massive step between high mode and high plus in the acceleration. So, I mean, personally, I'll probably just roll around on high. I'd just like to cruise. I'm not looking for, and I mean, you get up to top speed pretty fast after that initial takeoff. So that's hill climb, acceleration, top speed, braking, that kind of thing. So let's test the turning circle. Remember, the trucks are quite loose, but I think it's gonna do this U-turn on this street fairly easily. So easily. Last thing to do was the range tests. What am I at now? The board is down to 3 bars out of 4. And I've done 8.4 Ks, just a little bit over because I started a tad late. So you're looking at about 24 Ks or 32. Could get 30 Ks out of this, which would be good. Anyway, I'm just going to keep rolling around, listening to my podcasts, and we'll see how far I can get before this thing conks out. I'll catch up with that pretty soon. Here comes the cops, so I hope I don't get into too much trouble. It looks like I'm gonna run out of battery on my GoPro before I run out of battery on my skateboard. The perils of trying a new system and not being prepared for these kinds of things. But what I want to do is, I'll talk about the range when I get home, but now I'm going to do some off-road riding because this is supposed to be an all-terrain skateboard, right? So let's give it a crack. I'm just heading onto like it's like a compact gravel path. I mean, it's quite good. I still feel quite a bit of traction underneath these wheels. This is a good, gravel trail. I must say that. Yeah, this would be great for cutting corners through the park on the way to work. If there's any shortcuts, you could take these gravel trails. This part's all right. Oh, a lot of rocks here. I'm kicking rocks all over the place. Whew. All right, so a bit looser. I think that really took it out of the battery coming up that little dirt trail there. Oh, damn. Check out those scuff marks. now that I look at it, there is not that much clearance between the bottom of the wheels and those motor mounts. There's only a finger's width, like a centimetre of clearance between these motor mounts and the top of the wheel. So that reduces your ground clearance, your total ground clearance by quite a lot. Yeah, they're proper scuffed up. Oh, well, it's not the end of the world. I mean, a bit of scuffing here and there is just signs of a well-used product. Doesn't affect the performance at all. So I completed the range test. I actually did it yesterday. In the end, I finished on 24 kilometers of range, and it's expected to do about 30 to 42 kilometers or 18 to 20 miles. So it is a little bit less, but I do ride it pretty hard. I do lots of acceleration tests, hill climbing, top speed tests. I'm on a little bit more of the heavier side at 90 kilos, which is about 190 pounds. I also did a little bit of off-road riding, which puts the board under a lot more stress than just riding on flat roads. No doubt this board was tested with a 60 to 65 kilogram rider, perfect roads in probably speed mode M. So taking all that into account, you should be able to figure out roundabouts what kind of range you will get. Definitely for lighter riders and those who just cruise along commuting, you'll get plenty more range out of it. So the things I like about the Possway Lynx is that it comes with some great accessories. It comes with the rear shred lights with the mounting brackets, and it also comes with 2 sets of wheels, just as standard. I also like the remotes. I like the pause functionality specifically. It takes a little bit of time to get used to having to pull when you're at a standstill, pulling the brake down before accelerating, but when you do get used to it, it's great. That board is not going anywhere until you deactivate that pause. I love the trucks. I did feel like they were fairly loose out of the box, and I didn't tighten them up, and the carving was just, it was amazing. I felt very sturdy, probably due to a combo of these massive wheels and the trucks, but the carving experience on the Lynx feels awesome. The deck probably also helps because it's quite stiff. You can feel a lot more of the board and the responsiveness underneath, and the raised edges also help to control that carving. Things I didn't particularly like were the ability to change the speed mode while you're accelerating and even while it's in cruise control. Now, some people will disagree with this, but I think it's a little bit unsafe because you could be flooring it in mode M, like the middle mode, and accidentally hit that speed mode, and boom, you are accelerating to the board's top speed. So if you're not expecting the board to make a sudden acceleration, it's a little bit off-putting. Now, didn't happen to me, although I was very aware that it could happen, so I was extra careful around the buttons. That's just one thing to keep in mind. The other thing, unfortunately, was the motors. This is not out of the ordinary for belt drive motors. This tends to happen a lot. And I did ride over some very rugged terrain with protruding rocks. So I ended up with quite a few scratches and nicks on the motor mounts. Aside from that, the way that the Possway Lynx rides and its performance specs, I'm very, very happy with. I'd highly recommend this board. Possway have always made good boards. They're durable, they're well put together, and they're just a lot of fun. So that's really everything that I have on the Possway Lynx. I really enjoyed testing these boards, and I'll probably ride this one a lot more in the future just for fun. There's only one other board that I've kept in the past, and that was the X-Way Flex, the original one. This one's up there as one of my favorite boards to ride at the moment. That's it for this review. Any updates that I have on this board, I will put on my website. You can see the description down below for a link to that. That'll be a bit of an evolving article. Anything new that I learn about the board, I'll put up there. If you like what you've seen today and you want to get your hands on a Possway Lynx, then please use the link in the description below. It helps me out immensely, so I thank you for that in advance. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more electric skateboard reviews in the future. Ride safe out there, e-skaters, and I'll see you soon.